Thousands of trucks ready for sale, just sitting unused in lots.
Cars are also more expensive now, which automakers have blamed on supply shortages, leading to an increase in demand.
Right now, 18 pickup trucks are absolutely destroying dealers across America. And I'm not talking about a few slow weeks. I'm talking about dealer lots that are completely overflowing with trucks that nobody wants to buy. Sales have collapsed so hard that some dealers are literally running out of space to park all the inventory they can't move. These aren't cheap little compact trucks. These are $60,000, $70,000, even $80,000 machines that were supposed to be guaranteed moneymakers. The trucks that American dealers counted on to pay their bills every single month. And now, they're sitting there, gathering dust, losing value. Every single day. But here's what nobody's talking about. Why are buyers suddenly running away from the exact same trucks they were fighting over just 2 years ago? What changed? And more importantly, which of these 18 trucks is losing dealers the most money right now? And could it be sitting in your driveway? Mike Delgado knew the numbers didn't lie. Every unsold truck on his lot came with a silent price tag, one that grew heavier with each passing day. Floor plan financing was supposed to be a tool, not a ticking time bomb. But with interest rates climbing and trucks gathering dust for months, the math turned brutal. Take a $70,000 pickup, financed at 7%, that is over $12 a day, every day, just for the privilege of keeping it parked. Multiply that by 30 days, and the monthly cost balloons past $360. Now stretch that out. Trucks that used to sell in 40 or 50 days are now sitting for 150, 200, even 270 days. By the 6-month mark, a single truck racks up more than $2,100 in interest. Go a full year, and the carrying cost alone wipes out every cent of profit Mike hoped to make. At $12 a day, a $4,200 margin is gone in less than 11 months. That is just the interest. After 60 or 90 days, lenders tack on extra fees, curtailments that force dealers to pay down a chunk of the principal. Miss a payment, and the penalties stack up. The longer a truck sits, the faster it turns from an asset into a liability. Dealers like Mike can't just pass these costs along. Buyers aren't lining up. The market has moved on, and every day the inventory ages, the value of these trucks drops even further. The problem isn't limited to 1 or 2 models. Across the country, dealers are holding inventory for months on end. National averages mask the real pain. The slowest moving trucks, those in the bottom 20%, are stuck for more than 150 days, sometimes close to a year. For high-end models and electrics, the daily hit climbs even higher, with some dealers paying $20 a day or more. Mike's cash flow is under siege. Instead of making money, he's writing checks just to keep the lights on and the trucks insured. The financial pressure isn't theoretical. It's a daily grind, measured in dollars lost and opportunities slipping away. For every truck that sits, the cost curve bends upward, and the path to breaking even gets longer. The next step for Mike, and for every dealer in the same boat, isn't about waiting for buyers. It is about survival. A spreadsheet tells the story in cold, relentless numbers. Start with a $70,000 truck and a 7% annual interest rate. Each day it sits unsold, more than $12 in interest quietly disappears from the dealer's pocket. The curve isn't gentle, it's a steep climb. By day 60, that truck has already cost $765 in interest. At 120 days, the total is over $1,500. 6 months in, the bill hits $2,300 and keeps rising. Every month, another $360 vanishes, and that's before any extra fees or penalties. But the real trouble starts when the calendar flips past day 90. Lenders demand curtailment payments, partial paydowns on the loan, forcing dealers to cough up cash just to keep the truck on the lot. If the truck lingers, the expenses stack. Insurance, reconditioning, and sometimes even renting space off-site when the main lot overflows. Overflow lot rental isn't cheap. Dealers shell out hundreds or even thousands a month just to park inventory they can't sell, adding another layer to the overflow loss. On paper, a truck might show a $4,200 gross profit, but that's wiped out by day 329. Every day it sits past that, the dealer loses real money. The break-even point isn't a guess, it's a deadline. Most dealers can't afford to wait that long. They start slashing prices, sometimes by 20% or more, just to get out from under the carrying costs. The losses aren't spread out evenly. Trucks that move fast barely touch that red line. But the slow movers, the ones nobody wants, become a financial sinkhole. A single unsold truck can cost a dealer thousands in just a few months. Multiply that by dozens or even hundreds of trucks, and the losses become staggering. Mike Delgado looks at his inventory list and sees a countdown, not a catalog. Every unsold truck is a ticking clock, and every tick eats away at his margin. The longer they sit, the more they cost, until the only option left is to cut the price and take the hit. For Mike and dealers like him, the math isn't theoretical, it's survival. Right now, 18 pickup trucks are absolutely destroying dealers across America. And I'm not talking about a few slow weeks. I'm talking about dealer lots that are completely overflowing with trucks that nobody wants to buy. Sales have collapsed so hard that some dealers are literally running out of space to park all the inventory they cannot move. These are not cheap little compact trucks. These are $60,000, $70,000, even $80,000 machines that were supposed to be guaranteed moneymakers. The trucks that American dealers counted on to pay their bills every single month. And now, they are sitting there, gathering dust, losing value, every single day. But here is what nobody is talking about. Why are buyers suddenly running away from the exact same trucks they were fighting over just 2 years ago? What changed? And more importantly, which of these 18 trucks is losing dealers the most money right now? And could it be sitting in your driveway? Nissan once banked on the Titan to keep its dealers in the full-size truck game. But by mid-2024, the Titan had become the poster child for everything going wrong on American lots. The numbers are blunt. An average of 187 days sitting unsold, with just 232 units finding buyers in a 2-month stretch before Nissan finally pulled the plug. That's not just slow, it's glacial, even by the standards of a market flooded with options. For Laura Chen, a veteran dealer in St. Louis, the Titan was not just another truck gathering dust. It was a daily reminder of how quickly fortunes can reverse. She remembers when Titans moved fast enough to justify their spot on the lot. Now, she is staring at a row of them, each one costing her more than $300 a month in interest and fees. Multiply that by the number of Titans she is stuck with, and the losses become impossible to ignore. Production ended in May 2024, but the real pain came after. As the last Titans rolled off the line, nearly 20,000 unsold units were still clogging up dealer inventories nationwide. The discount started small, $2,000, then $5,000, but with every passing month, the price cuts deepened. By late summer, some dealers were slashing over $10,000 off MSRP just to get the trucks off their books. A fully loaded Titan that once stickered at $58,000 could be had for $46,000, and even then, buyers hesitated. The problem was not just price. The Titan never cracked the code that made Ford and Ram the kings of the segment. It had under 10,000 annual sales since 2020. A reputation for being reliable, but never quite first choice. As the market shifted, the Titan became invisible, lost in a sea of more popular, better financed competitors. For dealers, it was a perfect storm. High carrying costs, no buyer urgency, and a product with no future. Laura watched as floor plan statements arrived each month, the interest charges eating away any hope of profit. After 6 months, each Titan had already cost her nearly $2,000 in carrying costs alone. At 1 year, that number doubled. The break-even point, where any shot at profit vanished, was long gone. Every day a Titan sat unsold was a day she lost more money. By the time Nissan announced the end of the line, the writing was on the wall. Dealers faced the reality that some of these trucks might never sell at all. The only way out was to cut their losses, dump inventory at whatever price the market would bear, and move on. For legacy brands like Nissan, the Titan's collapse exposed just how quickly a miscalculation can turn a bread-and-butter product into a financial sinkhole. Laura's story is not unique. Across the country, dealers are wrestling with the same nightmare. Trucks that were supposed to be safe bets, now draining cash and crowding lots. The Titan's downfall is a warning. Even the most established names can find themselves on the wrong side of a market that has moved on without them. The electric pickup revolution was supposed to save the truck market. Instead, it's become a graveyard of broken promises and stranded investments. On paper, these trucks were unstoppable, backed by billion-dollar tech companies and hyped as the future of American roads. But the reality for dealers has been a nightmare. Rivian, once the darling of Wall Street, delivered a brutal wake-up call. In May and June, not a single R1T found a retail buyer. 0 sales. The only trucks moving were bulk orders to Amazon, fulfilling a contract that kept the factory running, but did nothing for the dealers hoping to cash in on retail demand. The R1T's $70,000 price tag, combined with charging headaches and a shaky resale outlook, scared off buyers who used to line up for the latest and greatest. The showroom floor became a dead end, with trucks aging out before anyone even asked for a test drive. Lordstown's story ended even faster. 31 endurance trucks ever built, none delivered to customers, and then the company vanished into bankruptcy. The plant in Ohio, once a symbol of new energy jobs, went dark. Dealers who had bet on Lordstown were left holding contracts and empty promises. There was no inventory to move, just a trail of sunk costs and unanswered calls. Bollinger B2 never even got that far. After collecting over 14,000 reservations, the company canceled the program outright. 0 sales, no trucks shipped. The intellectual property changed hands in a quiet deal, but for dealers and reservation holders, the message was clear. Not every electric dream becomes reality. Even the giants haven't escaped. The Tesla Cybertruck, hyped for years, finally started deliveries, but the problems piled up just as fast as the orders. Recalls. 8 separate recalls in less than a year. Owners reported trim pieces flying off at highway speeds, accelerator pedals sticking, and wipers failing without warning. Each new recall meant more headlines, more trips to the service center, and more doubts about whether these trucks were ready for the real world. Tom Alvarez, a service manager in Phoenix, has seen the fallout firsthand. He spends his days fielding calls from frustrated owners, people who waited years for their electric trucks, only to find themselves back in the shop every few weeks. Software updates fix some issues, but hardware failures mean long waits for parts and angry customers demanding answers. For Tom, the promise of low-maintenance electric vehicles has turned into a daily grind of managing complaints and chasing down fixes that never seem to stick. The contrast couldn't be sharper. This was supposed to be the era where technology and innovation rescued the truck market from stagnation. Instead, dealers are stuck with high-priced, unsellable inventory, and service departments are overwhelmed by problems that no amount of hype can hide. The electric truck boom has become a bust. The question now isn't which model will lead the charge, but which one will be the next to disappear. At the top of the price ladder, the promise was simple: pay more, get more. But the reality for luxury and premium pickups is anything but. The GMC Hummer EV, once billed as the ultimate electric status symbol, now sits on lots like a monument to excess. At over $110,000 and tipping the scales at 9,000 pounds, It's not just the price that's heavy. Owners have reported garage floors cracking under the weight. Insurance costs spike, and city parking restrictions turn it into a driveway ornament. Even with all that power and tech, dealers can't move them. By late 2024, more than 2,500 Hummer EVs sat unsold, some for over 120 days. The discounts started quietly, then ballooned as inventory piled up. But buyers aren't biting, not when a truck this expensive comes with real-world headaches. The Jeep Gladiator was supposed to blend off-road attitude with pickup practicality. Instead, it's become a cautionary tale. Sales crashed 47.7% in June, and the reasons are everywhere. Owners complain about jittery highway manners and a noisy, uncomfortable ride. Dealers who once celebrated its launch now watch as Gladiators gather dust, each one a monthly drain on the bottom line. The discounts get steeper, but the highway reviews linger online, scaring off buyers who want comfort as much as capability. Even mid-size trucks aren't immune from luxury bloat. The GMC Canyon, once a sensible choice, now stretches from $38,000 to over $60,000 for the top trim. That's full-size money for a truck that can't tow or haul like its bigger siblings. Buyers notice. The Canyon's days on lot average has ballooned to 140, with dealers slashing up to $8,000 off MSRP just to get them moving. The value proposition breaks down the moment a shopper realizes they can get a better-equipped full-size for less money. For dealers, every Canyon that lingers is another reminder that premium pricing without premium capability is a losing bet. All across the premium segment, the same story plays out. High sticker prices, sky-high financing costs, and a shrinking pool of buyers willing to pay for features they don't need. Trucks that were supposed to be halo products now threaten to sink dealer profits. The numbers don't lie. When a $110,000 Hummer EV or a $60,000 Canyon sits unsold for months, the carrying costs eat away every last bit of margin. The luxury badge doesn't offer protection. In this market, it's just another liability. Sticker shock used to be a problem for luxury trucks. Now it's infecting the mid-size segment, a place that once promised value and practicality. The Ford Ranger, for decades the go-to choice for buyers who didn't need a full-size beast, now starts at $34,000. That's only $2,600 less than the base F-150. For a lot of shoppers, the math is simple. Why settle for smaller when a few thousand more gets you the real thing? Dealers watch as buyers walk past the Ranger, straight to the full-size lot, drawn by better incentives and more capability for barely any extra cash. The Chevy Colorado ZR2 Bison takes the price spiral to a new level. Once positioned as the affordable off-road hero, the latest Bison crosses the $60,000 line, territory that used to belong to loaded Silverados and Sierras. For that kind of money, buyers expect serious towing, plush interiors, and a badge that turns heads. Instead, they get a mid-size truck that can't match its full-size cousins on power or prestige. The result? Days on lot stretch past 160 days, with dealers slashing prices and still watching inventory pile up. Hyundai's Santa Cruz tried to break the mold with a crossover truck mashup. But in June, sales cratered by 31%. Even a redesign couldn't save it. Buyers who once flocked to Hyundai for value now see the Santa Cruz priced against real trucks, $35,000 for a compact bed and car-like ride. The novelty wore off fast, and dealers are left with rows of unsold units, each one a silent drain on monthly statements. Laura Chen, who thought she'd seen every pricing mistake in the book, shakes her head as she runs the numbers. She points out that the mid-size segment is eating itself alive. As prices creep up, buyers defect to full-size trucks or bail on new altogether. The logic is brutal. A $38,000 GMC Canyon can be outclassed by a discounted Sierra or F-150 for the same money. Even with $8,000 discounts, the Canyon lingers and the losses pile up. The pattern repeats across the lot. Mid-size trucks, once the answer to high prices, now suffer from the same disease. As sticker prices climb, the value gap disappears. Dealers can't move them, and manufacturers are slow to react. The market has spoken. If a mid-size costs nearly as much as a full-size, buyers won't bite. The segment's identity crisis is now a financial crisis for every dealer holding the keys. The fallout is everywhere. Inventory ages, floor plan costs balloon, and the only way out is to cut prices until the losses stop. For the mid-size market, the old selling points, practicality, efficiency, affordability, have been replaced by a single question: why pay more for less? Laura's quick analysis boils down to a harsh reality. When mid-size trucks cost like full-size, they don't just lose sales, they lose their reason to exist. Tom Alvarez opens the shop at 6:30 every morning, but lately, he's been spending more time on the phone than under the hood. The calls come in waves, owners frustrated by another recall notice, another trip to the service lane, another promise that this time the fix will stick. Ford's recall count has hit 88 already this year. Maverick owners complain about battery failures that leave them stranded in parking lots. Some trucks are under stop-ship orders, held at the dealership for weeks while parts trickle in. The waiting room fills with drivers who thought they were buying peace of mind, not a punch card for free repairs. It's not just Ford. Toyota's Tundra, once the gold standard for reliability, has gone all in on hybrids. But the rollout has been rocky. Supply is tight, and the only option for buyers is a hybrid system that's still new to most techs in Tom's shop. When the multimedia screens started failing, sometimes taking the backup camera with them, 162,000 trucks were swept into a recall. For loyal customers, the Tundra's bulletproof reputation now feels like a memory. Tom's team is buried in paperwork and parts returns. Every recall slows the line, burns through hours, and fills the lot with trucks waiting for clearance. One day it's a F-150 with a rear axle hub bolt recall. The next it's a Tundra with a blank display. Owners start to wonder if their truck is safe, or if the next letter in the mail will mean another week without wheels. The mood shifts from loyal to skeptical, and Tom can see it in their faces. The headlines pile up, recall after recall, defect after defect. In 2025 alone, more than 19 million trucks and SUVs were pulled back for fixes, with Ford and Stellantis trading the top spot for most recalls issued. Even the Tesla Cybertruck, hyped as a revolution, can't escape, with 8 separate recalls in its first year. It's become routine. A new model launches, and within months, the recall notices start rolling in. Trust is easy to lose and hard to rebuild. For Tom, every recall is one more reason an owner hesitates to recommend their truck to a friend. For dealers, it's a slow-motion disaster. Trucks sit unsold, tainted by news of the latest defect. Inventory ages, floor plan costs climb, and the promise of built to last feels hollow. The fatigue sets in, not just for owners, but for everyone in the business of selling, fixing, or driving these trucks. Mike Delgado doesn't see a parking lot full of unsold trucks. He sees opportunity. The numbers that haunt dealers can become a gold mine for buyers who know where to look. Take the Nissan Titan. In the spring, a fully loaded Titan stickered at $58,000. By late summer, dealers desperate to clear their books had dropped prices to $46,000. That's $12,000 off, no haggling required. The GMC Canyon, once priced into full-size territory, now comes with $8,000 discounts just to keep it moving. These aren't one-off deals, they're everywhere, hiding in plain sight for anyone willing to do the math. Mike's advice is simple: if you're in the market for a truck, this is the moment to act. Dealers can't afford to wait out the storm. Every extra day a truck sits on the lot shaves another chunk off the price. The discounts aren't just about moving metal, they're about survival. For buyers, it means getting a $60,000 truck for $48,000, or a $45,000 midsize for under $37,000. In some cases, factory incentives stack on top of dealer markdowns, pushing total savings north of 20% or even 30% off MSRP. But this window won't last. Mike's spreadsheet tells him the clock is ticking. Most analysts expect the glut to clear within 12 to 18 months. Once the lots empty out, manufacturers will cut production and the fire sale pricing will disappear. The trucks nobody wanted in 2024 could become rare finds by 2026, especially discontinued models like the Titan or canceled projects like the Bollinger B2. For collectors and bargain hunters, today's leftovers might be tomorrow's unicorns. Mike points to the rows of trucks outside his office. Each one is a deal waiting to happen. He's watched buyers score $10,000, $12,000, even $15,000 off, simply because they understood the pressure dealers are under. The best opportunities come to those who move before the market resets. For now, the trucks are there, the prices are low, and the window is wide open. The only question left: which one will you drive away with before the bargains are gone? Right now, 18 pickup trucks are absolutely destroying dealers across America. And I'm not talking about a few slow weeks. I'm talking about dealer lots that are completely overflowing with trucks that nobody wants to buy. Sales have collapsed so hard that some dealers are literally running out of space to park all the inventory they can't move. These aren't cheap little compact trucks. These are $60,000, $70,000, even $80,000 machines that were supposed to be guaranteed moneymakers. The trucks that American dealers counted on to pay their bills every single month. And now, they're sitting there, gathering dust, losing value, every single day. But here's what nobody's talking about. Why are buyers suddenly running away from the exact same trucks they were fighting over just 2 years ago? What changed? And more importantly, which of these 18 trucks is losing dealers the most money right now? And could it be sitting in your driveway? The biggest money pit. Recap. Ramp up 18 trucks. 18 names that now haunt dealer spreadsheets and sales meetings across the country. These aren't just obscure models or oddball experiments. They're the backbone of American showrooms. Start with the Nissan Titan, once a contender, now a symbol of unsold inventory. The Ford Ranger, caught between price brackets, and the Chevrolet Colorado ZR2 Bison, whose off-road promise couldn't outrun its sticker shock. The GMC Canyon, priced like a full-size but lacking the muscle. The Hyundai Santa Cruz, the crossover gamble that fizzled as fast as it arrived. On the luxury side, GMC Hummer EV, 9,000 pounds of unsold ambition. Jeep Gladiator, the off-road rebel nobody wants to daily drive. Tesla Cybertruck, futuristic but plagued by recalls. Rivian R1T, Lordstown Endurance, and Bollinger B2, electric dreams that stalled before they even reached the highway. Ford Maverick, Toyota Tundra, Chevrolet Silverado, Ram 1500, and Honda Ridgeline, each facing their own headwinds. Add the Ford F-150 Lightning and the Ram 1500 Rev, both struggling to find buyers in a market suddenly wary of anything new or unproven. Each of these trucks was supposed to be a winner. Now, their names are shorthand for unsold metal and mounting losses. The only question left: which one is sinking dealers the fastest? No truck has turned dealer optimism into red ink quite like the Tesla Cybertruck. The numbers are undeniable. 8 separate NHTSA recalls in less than a year, each one a fresh headline and a new headache. Owners have reported trim pieces flying off at highway speed, wipers that freeze mid-storm, accelerator pedals that stick wide open, even steering wheels that can detach without warning. The list reads like a checklist of everything that could go wrong with a $100,000 pickup. On paper, the Cybertruck was supposed to be the future: stainless steel, bulletproof glass, and a waitlist millions deep. In reality, it's become a liability. For every truck that sits unsold, the carrying cost climbs. Dealers who dared to take on Cybertruck inventory, where state law allows, are paying the price. with MSRPs stretching from $80,000 to over $120,000. Just one unsold unit racks up more than $400 a month in floor plan interest alone. Stack a few on the lot, and the losses spiral. By the 6-month mark, a Cybertruck can wipe out $2,400 in interest before a single recall repair even hits the books. The recalls don't just eat into margins, they destroy confidence. Every new service bulletin means more buyers walk away, more inventory sits, and more money bleeds out. For dealers, the Cybertruck isn't just a slow mover, it's the single biggest drain on the books. A rolling experiment that's left nothing but bills and broken promises. Today, more than 200,000 unsold pickups crowd dealer lots, some losing dealers over $300 per month in carrying costs, while trust in 6-figure trucks collapses under waves of recalls and broken promises. This isn't just a market correction. It's a signal that buyer priorities have shifted for good. As automakers scramble to adapt, the trucks gathering dust now could become tomorrow's icons or cautionary tales. The road ahead belongs to those who actually listen. Share your perspective below.